This week on FAAN in Focus, FAAN introduces new standards and tariffs aimed at improving airport taxi services across the country. In Maiduguri, a new humanitarian air terminal is commissioned to strengthen emergency and relief operations across Nigeria's northeast. We examine FAAN's renewed crackdown on touting and other illicit activities at our airports. Our correspondent Chumanoli takes us inside FAAN's new airport official car hire scheme and what it means for travelers as he engages FAAN's Director of Commercial and Business Development, Adebola Joy Agumbiade, in an exclusive chat. The Honorable Minister explains how aviation can drive economic growth while renewed investor confidence returns to Nigeria's skies. I am Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. Welcome aboard FAAN in Focus this week. In another significant development, the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has joined humanitarian partners in commissioning the United Nations Humanitarian Air Service Terminal at Maiduguri International Airport. The facility is expected to strengthen humanitarian air operations and improve logistics supports for emergency response across Nigeria's northeast. The commissioning ceremony was attended by FAAN Board Chairman Dr. Abdullahi Umar Ganduje, Managing Director Mrs. Olubunmi Kuku, senior FAAN officials, development partners, and representatives of international humanitarian organizations.
Today's event represents more than the opening of opportunity. It is a demonstration of the power of partnership, compassion, and collective commitment while supporting communities affected by crisis and strengthening humanitarian operations in the Northeast geopolitical zone. The establishment of this facility by the United Nations Humanitarian Air Service, operated by the World Food Programme, is a significant intervention that will enhance the delivery of humanitarian assistance through safe, efficient, and reliable air services.
Ultimately, this is not about infrastructure. This is about people. Those people who are in the hardest to reach areas and whose survival depends on our ability to reach them.
Speaking during the event, Mrs. Olubunmi Kuku reaffirmed FAAN's commitment to supporting humanitarian operations through safe, efficient, and reliable airports infrastructure.
I do want to say that this is indeed a testament to our partnership, a testament to your commitment to the Nigerian people. This terminal shows what we can achieve when governments, international organizations, and development partners unite behind a common purpose.
The new terminal represents another important partnership between government, international organizations, and the aviation sector in supporting communities affected by humanitarian emergencies.
Every day, thousands of journeys begin and end at Nigeria's airports. Behind every safe takeoff and smooth arrival is a system working tirelessly for you. FAAN in Focus, a half-hour enlightenment program on major Nigeria television stations, takes you behind the scenes, bringing you closer to the people, policies, innovations, and services that keep Nigeria's aviation industry moving. Discover helpful travel tips, understand airport processes, and stay informed about the developments shaping the future of air travel. Whether you're a frequent flyer, a first-time traveler, or simply curious about aviation, join us on FAAN in Focus on these stations and across FAAN's digital platforms. FAAN in Focus, bringing the airport closer to you. Brought to you by the Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria, FAAN.
The Federal Airports Authority of Nigeria has announced new operational standards and approved tariffs for airport taxi operators nationwide. The initiative is designed to improve passenger safety, enhance service quality, and ensure greater professionalism among operators serving Nigeria's airports. Under the new framework, airport taxi operators will be required to comply with defined vehicle standards and operational guidelines within the stipulated implementation period. FAAN says the reforms form parts of its broader commitment to delivering safer, more reliable, and customer-focused airport services.
Our culture is where the Nigerian spirit truly comes alive. From the electrifying energy of the Argungu Fishing Festival to the regal unity of the Ojude Oba Festival and the dance of the Ofala Festival and the sacred rhythms of the Oshun Osogbo Festival. Our celebrations are moments of living magic, where history dances with the present and the energy of Africa is felt. Our culture isn't just seen, it's worn, spoken, and carried. Akwete, Isiagu, Babariga, Ashoki, each thread telling its own story. And then there is our sound. From the global rise of Afrobeats to the voices of icons like Burna Boy and Wizkid, Tems, Davido, and many more. Nigeria doesn't just make music, we shape the rhythm of the world. Our stories travel far beyond our borders, shaped by the depth of its diversity and driven by the quiet determination of people who build, create, and rise above all odds. From our art to our music, from our culture to our cuisine, we are everywhere, shaping narratives, redefining excellence. This is Nigeria. Our story is still being written, and the world is watching. See you in Abuja, Nigeria, September 2026.
As passenger services continue to improve, FAAN is also leveraging technology to enhance convenience and provide safer transportation options within the airport's environment. Our correspondent Chuma Noli is standing by with the details. Chuma, tell us what's going on.
Thank you very much, Sulu. Hello there. Please do me this favor and endeavor to stick around and save all the best about aviation information flavor. You're still watching FAAN in Focus, and I'm excited to be in the office of a high-ranking personality in FAAN. She's a lady who's had over 2 decades in the financial industry, from the banking sector to management. And right now, she is running things in aviation. She's the director of commercial and business development in FAAN, the one and only Miss Adebola Joy Agumbiade. It's a pleasure being in your office, ma'am. Welcome to FAAN in Focus.
Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to meet you too and to be here.
You have an amazing office, by the way. I'm just going to ease us in by asking, because it's incredible, moving from being a top official in the banking industry to coming into this side of life. What's it been like to occupy this position?
I would say it's been a bit challenging and different, coming from private sector down to public sector. I'm sure you know that's like two very different edges of a sword, but I'm happy I'm having this opportunity because it helps me to see things from a different light, totally different light, to see the economy, to see Nigeria, to see how things work in different sectors of the industry in the country. You know, and I'm actually really grateful for this opportunity that I've had.
Amazing stuff. You know, it's like life where we learn every single day, of course. And I know that as part of the drive from FAAN, it's about making life easier for passengers and those who use the airport. And I know that FAAN have come through with something brand new lately, the airport car hire rank management system, which goes with the acronym ASHRAMS, if I was to pronounce that one right. What's it all about, and why did we have to have this come to the fore?
Okay, so over the years, FAAN has actually launched a couple of broad digital transformative agenda. And one of the key things for us there is looking for different ways to structure and standardize different operations around the airport. So ATRAMS is one of that. It's a technology-driven platform that aims to provide safer, seamless, and I would say hassle-free operations for our ground handlers. So speaking about ground transportation now, and car hire operations is one of those key areas that we have on ground transportation. So what ATRAMS does is, it's basically an app. It's a FAAN taxi app. That's what it is. So it's basically to help passengers be able to access car hire within our airports in a safer manner, simpler and hassle-free, just to provide a more modernized and structured process for that. That's basically what ATRAMS is.
Amazing stuff. And you said something about safety, and so I'm thinking about safety immediately. So I'm keen to find out what the benefits are directly for, passengers, airport users, and potentially those who have vehicles too that want to be part of this experience.
Yeah, so today in our airports, you land at an airport, you want to get one of our car hire operators, you basically see them hanging around the airport and saying, hey, car hire, I think we've moved past that. And I think things could be done better. So I know that you also find people who are a bit skeptical when they see, passengers, they're skeptical when they see people just hassling them, for cars. But we're trying to say, you know what? We are going a step further. We are verifying all the car hire operators we have within the environment. We're drilling down from their NIN, their driver's licenses, the vehicle particulars, and we've come up with a system that says that, if you're a car hire business, come to the airport, we register you as a company. And then as a company, you have a set number of vehicles under you, which come with drivers. So FAAN is basically dealing with a company who is the one managing his drivers or the vehicles underneath him. And all of these people have been verified. Even the company itself, we go down to verifying with CAC. So this, we believe, gives some form of comfort to a passenger who is willing to or wants to make use of any of our car hire operators. So that is on the car hire side. Now for the passenger, there should be a better way to be able to get a car and to take me to my destination when I land. So all we're saying is we're giving you an app, right? From the app, you log in. Registering on the app is less than a minute. You register on the app, just put in your destination, where you're going to, and immediately a driver who from the back end has been on a queue, right? And he picks up your ride, drives up to you wherever you are, you verify each other, right? So oh, I was the one that booked your ride, you were the one who picked my ride. Verify each other, you get into the car, and then you go. Simple, easy, safe. So this is, I believe it's a system that benefits both parties. And then for us as FAAN, there's revenue assurance. Because today, one of the things we're also trying to do is to reduce the use of cash within the environment. So previously, before now, the car hire operators, most of them pay through cash for the concession fee to FAAN. But now everything is going to be done on that platform. Everything will be deducting their concession fees through that platform. Any payment they have to make would go through that platform. No more cash collections at the airports.
Amazing stuff. Really lovely to get all of these responses and even more to come. But this is just the first part of the interview that you are enjoying. There's more to come next week.
Thank you, Chuma. We'll be looking forward to part 2 of that report next time we see. Now, aviation plays a critical role in national development. Beyond moving people, it supports trade, tourism, investment, and economic growth. The Honorable Minister of Aviation and Aerospace Development explains why strengthening the aviation value chain remains a national priority.
I'm very passionate about this, because one of my major policy trusts. I want to tie it to what I said earlier about the foreign airlines coming to Nigeria to poach our passengers. When I saw this situation on the ground and I asked myself, what was really the problem? Because don't forget that under this BASA arrangement, the bilateral service agreement that these airlines used to come to Nigeria, under which they used to come to Nigeria, we also have reciprocal rights under those BASAs. But we do not and cannot take advantage of 99% of those bilateral service agreements. It's only Air Peace that goes to London now from Nigeria, only Air Peace that does that bilateral with the UK. But all the others, Air France comes to Nigeria about 12, 13 times a week. We cannot go to Paris. Lufthansa comes every day. Lagos, Abuja, we cannot go to Germany. Delta comes to Nigeria every day from America, from Atlanta. We cannot go to America. Same thing with Delta, United America. Even the African airlines, Rwanda Air comes, Tanzania Air comes, Uganda Air comes, Kenya Air comes, South African Air comes, Moroccan Air comes, Egypt Air comes, Ethiopian Air comes. I can go on and on. It's scandalous, Martin. It's scandalous that all of these airlines come to feed on these very, very huge markets. On a weekly, we have about 150 frequencies every week. 150 from foreign airlines. And you have our local airlines that are struggling for a market that belongs to them. And so we went around the world to say, what is the problem? And they said, we don't trust your aviation ecosystem. It is not reliable. You have not complied with, a couple of things. You've not done a couple of things for us to bring equipment there. Because the major problem is that the local airlines need to have the same access to the market that these foreign airlines have access to. There's nothing, different between the owners of these private airlines in Nigeria and the foreign airlines. But the only thing is that they have access to single digits credits. And of course, lease agreements on very flexible rates. And of course, insurance too. The insurance factor is there. And so what I did, or what we did as government, was to attack the costs, not the effects. And the cost was that, look, we need to strengthen our local airlines. The first thing we needed to do was to ensure that we give the leasers, the financiers in Dublin and everywhere, in all parts of the world, especially in Dublin, the confidence that they could bring their equipment to Nigeria. And the first thing we needed to do was to make sure we ratify the Cape Town Convention, which is the Bible, as it were, or the Quran, for aircraft leasing across the world. That convention. And so we went back to Mr. President, the Vice President, and said, look, we need to do this. And they all agreed with me. And so we did that. We now passed the practice direction in Nigeria. And that practice direction made sure that with the Nigerian courts gave the Cape Town Convention primacy over even the local laws. In other words, repossession rights of creditors and leasers will be paramount in Nigeria now. You can repossess within 5 days. And then the whole world erupted and said, Nigeria is ready for business. All of a sudden, we jumped. Our compliance score jumped from 49.95%, which was actually on the blacklist and we jumped to 75.5%, which is the highest in Africa now in terms of compliance with the Cape Town Convention. It has opened the doors.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Port Harcourt International Airport. The local time is 6 p.m.
This terminal tells the story of our people. Warm and hospitable, resilient business minds, dreamers and go-getters. Experience the ease of doing business here. Welcome to Port Harcourt International Airport. Managed by FAAN. Safety, security, and comfort.
Creating a world-class airport environment goes beyond infrastructure. It also requires discipline, effective regulation, and the confidence of passengers using airport facilities every day. FAAN has therefore intensified efforts to eliminate touting and other illicit activities, particularly at the Murtala Mohammed International Airport. In this interview, Managing Director Mrs. Olubunmi Kuku outlines the strategies being deployed to protect passengers, improve order, and strengthen public confidence in Nigeria's airports.
The experience of every passenger starts from when they're checking in to when they're approaching the airport environment to when they get on their flight. I will say that the issue with the illicit activities and the touting are twofold. The first is all of the touts that you see within the airport environment, and from all of the assessments and the analysis that we've done, we found out that these illicit activities are actually internal. And what do I mean by that? A lot of the people that you see out there are not strange to the airport environment. We've actually found out that a lot of them are staff of the various agencies that work within the airports, whether they're on duty or off duty. They're coming out there because they feel that there is an additional way for them to make money from passengers. We found out that some of them actually work for concessionaires within the airport. For example, people who work for restaurants or shops or trolley providers and the BDCs within the airport. We've done a couple of things around communication, so communicating with those businesses or with those agencies about the demeanor and the activities of their staff. But we're also taking it a step further. The first is that we're also appealing to Nigerians, every Nigerian out there. As a passenger, you should not be embarrassed. You should not be overpowered at the airports with these people. Do not encourage them. Don't give your bags to random people at the airport. Don't try and give people money because you're trying to have a shortcut. We found out that these illicit activities are actually being encouraged by passengers. In certain instances, if you don't give them money because you want them to carry a bag for you or you want them to do something for you, they will stop being there. On our part, we've also increased our efforts. We've started to engage all of the various security agencies again, and we're now asking that what we've done in collaboration with some of the security agencies is to ensure that we now enforce rosters at the airport. It's unfortunate that we have to do this, but if this is what we need to do to clear out the touting, then we will. So one is to make sure that we get clarity on the rosters of the people who are being posted to the airport so that we have a time and attendance register for when they need to be there. And then for those who are found to be culpable, whether they're concessionaires, whether they're staff of other agencies, then there are consequences to those businesses as well. So the businesses, for example, if you have a two-time offender who's your staff, who's been caught there and has not gone to their homes or are not at their place of business, we will withdraw the operating licenses of those businesses as well. So we're encouraging our concessionaires, we're encouraging all of the security agencies and our passengers not to support this activity.
That's our journey for this week. Today, we brought you FAAN's new standards for airport taxi operations, the commissioning of the United Nations Humanitarian Air Service Terminal in Maiduguri, the authorities' renewed campaign against touting and other illicit activities, and an exclusive look at the new official airport car hire scheme. We also heard from the Honorable Minister on aviation's growing role in driving economic development and strengthening investor confidence in Nigeria. Thank you for joining us on FAAN in Focus. I am Tolulope Adeleru Balogun. This is an HS Studio production for the Federal Airport Authority of Nigeria. Until next week, enjoy safe travels, and remember, the journey begins long before takeoff.